Timbuktu today is a city of 40,000 inhabitants, 900 kilometers into the Sahara Desert. In the 12th century, it was one of the richest and largest cities in the world, with up to 100,000 people living there. Timbuktu is situated at the crossroads of the most important caravan trade routes which connected the Arab world that at the time spanned from Baghdad to Granada in Spain. We arrived late, but for a warm African welcome in Bamako, the capital city of Mali.
Bonjour, monsieur. Enchanté. Merci beaucoup.
The next morning, the Prime Minister interrupted his cabinet meeting to hear from Bernard about the New7Wonders campaign. Thank you very much, Prime Minister, for this warm reception here in Mali. From there, we rushed to the airport for the 2.5-hour flight to Timbuktu, sharing the plane with some of Mali's most important academics and statesmen. The houses and mosques are built out of limestone covered with mud. The wooden bars sticking out of the walls are not only decorative, but are being used as permanent scaffolds for the overhaul of the walls with mud. One of the three Imams of Timbuktu was our guide to the mosques and libraries. Here he was telling us his secret how to become very old. I'm always drinking when I'm eating. That's the secret. And where the Imam sits to make the prayers in front of the devoted. This city was a centre of learning, book copying and transcription long before the invention of the printing press. While Europe was lost in the Dark Ages, the people of Timbuktu also translated writings of the ancient Greeks, perhaps even the writings of Philon and Antipatros, who first wrote about the ancient 7 wonders of the world. From a Quran school, one of the first universities evolved, with up to 25,000 students, being taught in law, mathematics, astronomy, medicine, and many more disciplines. This was long before other metropolitan areas had developed academic centres. The oldest book in Timbuktu is this legal textbook, written in the 11th century and used in the local university at the time. How old is this? 1065. And it's not made of paper, it's made out of skin. For many people, the first visit to Timbuktu is a big shock. Like the French discoverer René Caillet, who said, "There's nothing here." But later they all realized that this nothing covered everything. Inside the houses there is vibrant life, human relations, and history is present everywhere. Timbuktu is a cosmopolitan city. A city that lives in symbiosis with different ethnical groups. Timbuktu is a welcoming place, a tolerant city with Muslims and Christians. We all work together, hand in hand, to build our Timbuktu. Tomorrow, Timbuktu will continue with this spirit of tolerance and openness. The people are extremely interested and open-minded. We will take what science will bring, not to get lost with it, but to consider and digest its values, and to render it in a new form with the imprint of Timbuktu.
On va l'intégrer, les gens vont l'intégrer, le digérer et le restituer en lui donnant la marque de Tombouctou.
The whole town turned out to celebrate Timbuktu's candidacy in the New7 Wonders of the world. The presenter announced the rich program of the event. Bernard arrived at the head of a salt caravan, marking Timbuktu's old trade. It was his pleasure to give the New7 Wonders certificate to the mayor of Timbuktu. Mr. Mayor, it's a great pleasure to bring you the certificate of candidature of Timbuktu, to possibly become one of the New7 Wonders of the world. For the locals, this really was a reason to celebrate. Timbuktu stands for intellect and mysticism.